What's happening? Hey man, it's Podcast Cal, man. What's happening, man? Podcast Cal. What it do?
See, a lot of people be too worried about what a motherfucker think about them.
Oh gosh.
You feel me? And like I was just talking to my cousin about this yesterday. When I was like 8, 9, 10, I just was real nerdy. I was afraid. I didn't like confrontation. You feel me? And being in Serenity Park, you couldn't have that. It was real. You feel me? Fast. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so I started to study people that I felt was tough. I'm like, he hella tough. So I started to emulate these people, right? And as I journeyed on and went through my teens, I always referenced these people of what I thought they would be, right? Or others, right? And I found myself going way harder than they had ever been.
Come on.
And once I got like, as a man, I'm like, we go overkill when we're insecure in the area.
Right.
Like I went from timid to a monster.
Yeah.
To where some of the dudes I grew up emulating pull me to the side and say, Cal, bro, you tripping, bro. You need to. And now I'm looking at them like, nigga, I'm doing the shit that you.
I'm doing what you're doing.
I'm doing what I thought you
and
was
what
doing.
they always say, you don't belong out here, man.
Man, bro, you tripping, bro.
And that's why I know it's destiny, like that we connected. Cause like it's just so many mirrors. Same thing.
So with shit like that, you know what I mean? Like we go so hard. A lot of people don't want to tell that side. They want you to think that they just woke up and was just the hardest nigga walking the streets forever, sold 100 bricks and balled out. That's not the story. That's not the way it go. You know what I mean? So when I realized that, you know what? Time is evolving. The streets are evolving. I'm not going to, ball out and meet Pablo and live happily ever after. My daughter needs she deserves my freedom. She deserves me being alive. Like, this is what she deserves. I'm obligated to provide that for her. And my alliances in the street are a facade because these people really aren't who I thought they were. This area is not what I thought it was. And this is state to state, and then you have a younger generation who are being misled. I don't even blame them. Like all this telling and all this scared to fight and these I don't blame them because it's a generation above them that didn't properly lace them.
I mean, they doing what they've been taught. Like we can go back to the old adage, like I said, of just economics, right? And even how economics is not even explained to us, right? So there's so much misinformation that we're given, and then there's so much valuable information that's withheld from us, and a lot of it at this point has been spoon-fed and passed down like tradition,
right? Through
music and through different parts of our cultural expression,
right? Because
this is how we normally express ourselves, and it's just unfortunate that as a community we've allowed ourselves to have these narratives. So yeah, I feel you. I don't blame the kids either, and I think that that's why it's important for us to chime in and to have this kind of dialogue and to be transparent, because they disconnect with people like you and I. When they see somebody who even has their own ventures or business, who's articulate, who has any sensibility about having any kind of intellect or family values or being grounded, they disconnect and they automatically assume
you're weak or you soft
or you didn't come from where they come from,
or you a nerd. That's what they.
And I'm like, I used to hold rocks in my pocket and sell dope, just like your auntie, little girl.
Straight up.
And you ain't never sold a rock in your life.
Never.
But because I can articulate certain things and have certain conversations with you and instill certain values or pass on certain information, you automatically assume I haven't been there.
No, we live in a society where if you don't come across as ignorant, then you ain't real. And
that's unfortunate, because what is real? I tell people all the time, I don't want to be real. Y'all be real. I'm genuine.
Yeah, straight up.
Because right now I might be serious. Yeah. In a minute I might be goofy. Right? I may speak properly for a moment and turn around and I'm full ghetto twang. I might like country and then turn around and love rap, throw on some gospel, or sit in silence and do yoga. You never know with me.
Right.
Right? And so just that ideology that we can be so varied and so vast is why communication and understanding is important. Like when you talk about relationships and you're talking about finances, even just like handling money and stuff, like, and how we deal with that in the family setting. This is why we as a culture struggle.
Yeah.
because we can't get a consensus of what to teach.
We never had these conversations.
No.
Because our parents didn't learn this. Our parents,
Come on.
the crack epidemic wiped out a whole generation of progress. Because I think about it like my grandmother was a homeowner.
Right.
My great grandparents owned homes. They owned homes all on the same block. Like
Homes had degrees.
96 and 8 for 60 years in the 96 alphabets. They've been there for 60 years. And then like my mom and all her cousins and stuff, they the ones who struggled with the epidemic that came and swept a nation. And it set us back so far. And of course it was by design. But like you said, in the music, even back to Negro spirituals that was being sang to, you know, lead to freedom and whatever, whether it was Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire spreading messages, right? Those positive messages turned into young, misled people rapping about their struggle, putting 2 on a 10. Now you leading a nigga to go drink some syrup or smoke some weed or snort some powder, you know what I mean? Like not even realizing, you know, the impact and the influence that you having, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these conversations need to be had and they need to be led by transparent people who aren't afraid.
Yeah.
You know, because the streets taught me for years to dim my light. The shit you like to do is not cool, bruh.
No one's gonna care.
If you gonna be out here doing this shit, you a lame, you a lummy, you a sucker, bruh. And we dim our light. We dim the things that make us unique, that make us individuals, that separate us. We tuck that to walk, talk, act, and move and to fit in.
It's just to fit in. I did the same thing.
Right.
I did the same thing. Like full scholarship to college. I had, you know, all these accolades and like you can, it's literally Googleable. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And, you know, long and short of it is to fit in, to be with a guy from the hood and to be able to sell dope and to be able to roll with guns and whatever else and whatever else, because I thought that was community. I felt like that was where the loyalty was. That was where there was the long-term acceptance. And so even when we talk about money, a lot of us struggle with long-term acceptance. And so it's hard to have long-term values with money. We don't have good relationships with ourselves.
Right.
This when I talk about wealth, a big part of it goes way beyond sharing a budget, way beyond your inability to be responsible or save up. We're talking about your inability to see the value that you have, your inability to manage the wealth of things inside you. You can't even pick apart what's inside you and manage it.
Right. Let alone a dollar amount.
We not even at a quarter.
Right.
You know, and so it's these principles that we really have to discuss. And so when you say we need to have these conversations and be transparent, I'm the first one to stand up and be like, man, I came from like 2 black eyes and bad credit and low self-esteem to who you see now.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like I'm on track. Like she doesn't have her keys yet with her deed, but she's on track and she got somebody else's deed. So her, you know,
straight
like
up.
She's making the move she needs to make and she ain't broke.
And she claiming that shit.
So, you know, and claiming it and manifesting it, you know, so it is possible. But we got to just keep talking and be honest.
Right. Honest is everything. Honesty is everything.
Be able to say, I've been there, bro. I've been there, sis.
Right.
Like, and don't be too uppity.
Right.
Like, it doesn't take any jewels out of my crown to be like, girl, bye.
Yeah.
I feel you because I started right there on the block, too.
Right. Straight up, though.
So, yeah.
You know what I mean? But what I did see, but even along my journey, you know what I mean? The different environments I've been in, I've always been a person to share knowledge, and I've always enjoyed obtaining it. And so some people even be like, "Bro, here go Cal preaching again." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with that, you know,
we could have never hung out together.
They like, man, look,
they would have been like, y'all two go off,
man,
because we can have both of y'all in the same clique.
Hey, go Cal preaching again, man. We don't want to hear that shit, bro. But I always try, especially I get high and I get to, man, look, I'll go on for hours. You know what I mean?
Telling you.
And but then I adopted this philosophy that giving knowledge, sharing knowledge is like feeding a baby. Mm-hmm. See, when they not hungry, they gonna slap that shit out your hand. They gonna slap it off the high chair. They don't want it. No matter, so you're wasting your food. You're wasting the food. You better off putting the lid on it, putting the cap on the bottom and say, we gonna check again with you in a minute. But when the baby's hungry, a baby gonna cry, kick, scream. A baby's gonna let you know when they're hungry.
They want it.
Then you feed them. Yeah. So I don't give nobody no game unless you come to me for it. because
Yeah.
I've wasted a lot,
Sitting
of
down.
energy, time sitting down with people who didn't even want it, who was there because they had to, whether that's little cousins, whether that's nephews, or just, little dudes in the neighborhood that I got love for, you know what I mean? So, you got my number. If you need it, come find me. I got you. But I ain't finna be the one loading it up on you no more either, though.
It's never wasted.
It's not. What I
It's
mean,
never wasted.
but time
And
and
I know
energy
what you
can't.
mean.
But time and energy is.
It can be without perspective.
Just think about it. When you was 17, 18 doing what you was doing, you wasn't giving a fuck what a motherfucker told you. Even if you took little jewels and it stuck with you, right? That person just invested all that energy and time in you because they saw something in you.
Right.
And so because that's discouraging.
It is, but so this is the wisdom that I'll give you on this. And this is the most godly wisdom I can give you on this. It's never about you, and it's always about you at the same time. So when you're able to receive something and you're not able to receive something, that was never the point, whether you could take the information or not. Because it was always twofold. There was always a purpose for you to take it however you took it.
Right.
So if you ignored it at that time, it was because there was something else on that foundation that you needed to build upon. You needed the next accident.
Got you.
You needed to not listen.
Got
but
you.
you also needed that encounter with the truth, because every encounter with the truth beats away at the lies. It's the journey.
Right.
Right. And so you're going to go through a lot.
Yeah.
You're not going to listen. None of us does. That doesn't mean the people who are talking to us are wasting their time, because they're planting seeds, and good seeds always bear fruit.
Always.
So the fruit may not be you, because it's not always about you. But when you got your life together and started to talk to people who did listen, you produced the fruit.
Right.
That was worth the seed that they invested. Don't matter how long it take.
No, that's real. That's real. I guess in my situation specifically, it was one of those things where it was like, it's like you beating somebody with the facts, and you're risking the relationship y'all do have is going sour because they're not ready to receive the knowledge you're trying to give them. So it was like, damn, I don't follow myself. I'm falling out with people I care about when my intentions is only to help them. So let me fall back in the cut, and you know where to find me when you need it. Other than that, I'm gonna love you and fuck with you for how you is.
Yep.
But see, that's why when God blessed me with this platform, you can soak it up, and you ain't gotta know.
That's
you ain't
right.
gotta let
I don't
me
gotta
know.
know if you soaking or not.
I don't even gotta
and
know.
That's why I love my podcast.
And you can
too.
give it a whole another nigga can get the credit too. You
It's
can,
true.
if that's what you need to do,
Do what you gotta do.
do what you gotta do, because I just want to see you win.
And
You
at the
feel
end of
me?
the day, I get the double-edged sword, because I'm getting it out there. Because there is something in me that has to get it out.
Right.
That's why I have the gift of releasing.
Right.
That's why I have the gift of taking in, right? You wouldn't be good at collecting intel if there wasn't a purpose for you to give it out.
Right.
So part of you wants to say what you need to say.
Right.
And this is perfect, because now, like you said, it don't matter you listen or not.
Man, you listen to now. I know it's gonna be dudes who hate me, who never liked me,
Yeah.
who gonna be listening to my shit and gonna be like,
Hell yeah.
you feel me? And that's fine. You know what I mean?
That's a part of it too.
That's a part of it. I want you to have that, bro.
Yeah.
I want you to have that. Like, take it, and I hope it do for you what I intended to.
You know what? And that's always the thing that I love about us kinds. Is like, whatever it takes for you to get it, however you get it, whoever you
Man.
give credit to, I just want it to work.
I just want it to work. I don't give
That's
a-
on you, on
Right.
somebody you know.
I just want it to work.
That's it. Like, and you know what? I think for me, that's always been the motivator. And my hurdle wasn't so much as the lack of appreciation from the people, because for my whole life, I've always felt that people will never, ever really appreciate and value me and what I give them personally until I'm gone. I've always known, for whatever reason, the world would care more about me than the people who I touched personally. And I don't know why I felt that as a kid, but I did. And so I never felt that need to have results or gratitude.
Yeah.
But I needed to show myself that I could do it for myself.
That's dope.
And so once I decreased my toxicity, once I worked on my dysfunction, once I faced me, once I started shadow boxing, I stopped running from the girl behind me that was always chasing me, from my past. I stopped running from who I had become and what I'd done.
That's dope.
I was able to be like, I can release now to whoever, whenever. Now I can give it out forever because I gave it to me first.
Oh.
So once I was spoon fed and I drank the Kool-Aid, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
come on.
So let me ask you a question.
We've been running since.
Was there a specific event or like
Oh, you gonna get personal?
yeah,
This is
what-
a relationship show.
what What was the process like? Was it an event? Was it an individual? Was it a counselor? Like just in general, what was the determining factor that told you that said, you know what, I gotta stop running. Fuck that. I gotta face this.
All right. I'm gonna keep it real. We gonna keep it real. This is like the realest podcast ever. Like,
man, this shit 1,000, man.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Shout out to the podcast being 1,000 well, man. We 1,000 well, man. We ain't sugarcoat nothing.
So I got my heart crushed to the point that it left all of me literally in pieces. Now this is after a lifetime of a ton of stuff that y'all just gonna have to get war wounds to see about. Yeah, I'm dropping a few books, but I got my heart broke. 10 years, and he came in one day and said that he had got somebody pregnant, and I had just had my left fallopian tube taken out like 2 months before, and I have fertility issues. Like I've had like 5 miscarriages. And he knew that was like one of the hardest things for me to ever go through. Like I didn't want to live. Like I was really broken. And we had already been trying to get our lives together after a ton of other things have happened. This is like, I'm fast forwarding. And long story short, he came in and he said that. And I literally just looked at him and I was like, and we got to separate. That's the one thing I can't accept. And I had asked God in the car leaving the last appointment, whatever else there is you want to take it, because I don't want to live and I don't feel like a woman. I'm hurt. I said, so whatever else it is you want to take it. And he walked in and he said that, and his daughter, who I had raised for 10 years, her whole life, like had custody, helped him get custody, raised her whole life.
Right.
I knew I had lost my family. I had lost what I thought was my reason to live. But I didn't key a car. I didn't cut a shirt. I didn't do anything. In fact, we talked and I laid down in the bed next to him back to back. Because, of course, who got anywhere to go right away?
Right.
And while we got it together, I picked up this little notebook that I had been using all the 3 years prior, the whole 3 years before that. I had been writing every night. We'd be chilling, smoking, doing whatever.
Right.
And then it turned into praying, meditating, like as we started to mature.
Right.
I pulled it out and it turned out to be a book. My first book, The Journey Through 1,000 Lies. The 10 things that every person needs to face in order to be their own best version of themselves. And whoever would have known, right? And so I didn't get bitter. I got better. That night when I laid down, I just knew. I was like, you got to just face whatever is holding you back.
God works so mysteriously.
Yeah. I didn't say he did this. I said, you allowed something in this to happen. You fix you, Treece.
You know what? He knew that you could never be the great individual he put you to be here in that comfortable environment.
Yeah.
Because 10 years you become comfortable.
That hurt though.
Absolutely. And it always does though.
Yeah.
You need to see, my philosophy is you need pain to reference to remind you that this shit is for real. Like, you know what I mean? Several situations that I experienced, like, you know, I've only been addicted to 3 things in my life. Syrup, gambling, and hustling.
3 dangerous things though.
And those are 3 very dangerous things. And those 3 things have brought me more pain than anything in life. You know what I mean? Like shooting dice, losing 15,000 at a time. You know what I mean? Or just, you know, I always pride myself in being somebody. I woke up one day and said, I ain't smoking no weed no more. I'm cool. You feel me? Fuck with this a little bit growing up. I ain't fucking with that no more. Syrup, I had a $500-$600 a day addiction. I know motherfuckers here like he lying. Look, bro, a brick of bow was $600, and if that motherfucker wasn't gone that night, I had a little bit left that I didn't want to touch it till I bought another one.
Right, because you can't be empty.
So, you know, I just said all that to say is that the pain from those losses and those addictions fueled me to say when I face similar encounters, that pain, that's why I have regrets. Now, some people don't have regrets, but see, my stubborn mind, I use regrets as a barrier. I'm so hard-headed because I'm the type, catch a case, get out, and it's be like, as soon as I get out, see, if I wouldn't have drove down that street,
then I would have did it.
I would have been cool. I should have just went the other street, you feel me? Or if I wouldn't have, too clever, right? So I use regrets like, you know what, man, you handled that wrong. Yep. And I think a part of striving to be an authentic, genuine individual, because that real shit is fake. Yeah. But to be genuine is to say, you know what, I fucked up right there. So I don't fuck up right there again. Like, let me remember that. So
Right.
when that situation happens, I can do differently. So, you know.
That will keep you honest with yourself.
Yeah.
But you know what it also does? It gives you power. It's nothing now that the world could ever do for me. It's nothing that the world could ever take from me. No, I'll have to face my greatest fears. Like, I already know that I'm okay through it all, because in that moment I took back my power.
Right.
It wasn't just about getting over somebody or winning or anything. You know, like a lot of the breakup stuff we go through, like, watch, I'ma glow up.
Right.
I didn't care about none of that. I wanted me. I wanted the real me, true and through. I was like, you could stop with the fugazi being in the gray.
Right.
Where you kind of look like you doing it, but you kind of like falling apart inside.
Faking the making.
Where you kind of getting it together, but you like being toxic.
Right.
Where you kind of want to have a healthy life, but you love the little stank of dysfunction. No, I said, we gonna get you all the way together.
Straight up.
Now I own me.
Come on, man.
So that was worth everything. So when you talk about pain being a motivator and a shaper, if you don't go, you don't grow.
Absolutely.
And if you've ever pushed at anything, you know that there is a tensity that comes with that. There's something that happens when you exercise tenacity. It's gonna hurt a little bit.
Right.
And so I agree with you. Like when life get comfortable, I get upset because comfort breeds complacency.
Absolutely.
And I already know what's on the other side of settling.
Right.
So hell no, I want to be excellent.
No, straight up.
Like I want whatever it takes.
Straight up.
Like I need this like breathing.
And you know, and you need them, you know, you need unfortunate situations to build that, because like growing up, you know, basically with nothing, once I, you know, was able to obtain a certain lifestyle through my illegal activities, you know, I never wanted that shit to leave. Like, I love waking up in the morning trying to turn 1 into 2 and 2 into 10. I lived for that. Yeah. You feel me? But, you know, that shit, man, was stressing me out. And then, you know, God is so good, man, because, you know, when he blessed me with my daughter, you know what I mean? When he blessed me with my baby, you know, and not even right away, but like as she grew and I grew, I'm just kind of like, I can't keep doing this shit. You feel me? Like I can't keep doing this shit. You know what I mean? And you know, I just can't keep doing it. Like this ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? And then, you know, like I spoke about on the prior little episode, you feel me? Like my relationships with women, it was so toxic. I thought I don't know who the fuck I thought I was, right? But I just felt like it should be an honor and a privilege for you to even be in my presence. And I conducted myself that way because I literally didn't need nobody for nothing at that time. In that space, I didn't need, like, even the women that I had in my life, I only needed you for X, Y, and Z. And then I was done, you feel me?
Right.
And you know, I had partners and people I know who had exes. They still cool with their ex. See them, give them a hug, know they do. Man, I go text one of mine is
public enemy.
I go, fuck
one.
you, don't lose my number, and you know what I mean? I'm like, shit.
You was a wild boy.
You feel me? So, you know, man, therapy really, really helped me. I really, really, really stress the importance of having an unbiased ear to express to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what, man.
I really do that.
No, not for therapy. I don't mean that at all.
Look,
don't get it mistaken. I'm not, because I expect you to work.
You know what though?
A therapist will let you talk and vent, and I'm only gonna let you vent for a second, because I literally only want to talk about the problems that you're willing to work on.
See, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I got people get mad at me though, because my thing is, if you gonna vent to me, I'm trying to help you create a solution.
I'm telling you.
I'm not that. I tell people all the time, I'm not a shoulder. Like I'm here for you, but I'm not a shoulder to lean on. I'm not a shoulder to cry on. Cause I'm gonna be the one dusting you off like, bro, fuck that. We about to do this shit. What's going on? Okay, then do this thing.
See, and then that's the thing. If I'm gonna motivate you and I'm gonna strategize, I'm literally not about to let you complain.
Yeah, for real.
Like I'm not.
Yeah.
So yeah. But now y'all know. If you wondered ever what a life coach was, I can't tell you what they are because we're all different.
Right.
It's one of those obscure titles.
Right.
But it's real substance. Like I ain't playing.
Ain't doing no kissing unless the label got the act on it. Animals like Jumanji, it's a jungle here.